terrorist killed in Louisiana, and you probably haven't heard anything about it. Joining us right now is our friend John Guandolo, a counterterrorism expert, former FBI agent, and he helped create and implement the FBI's first counterterrorism training program. He's founder of UnderstandingTheThreat.com and co-author of Sharia, The Threat to America. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on again.
Good. My pleasure. Did I get it all in on that little business card? Yeah, it must be a heck of a big business card. I didn't even get it all in, actually. Anyway, all right. So tell us about what a lot of us don't know about, and that is the fact that a Yemeni jihadi was killed in Louisiana. How is it possible that we don't know that? I mean, the American public hasn't really been told about that.
Well, it's interesting. I think what's amazing to me is over the last several years since 9/11, we've had numerous acts of jihad on American soil. And when I still meet with people, including law enforcement officials, they're not aware of many of these. And I mentioned, in the recent article that we've had a number of jihadi attacks. And I just want to, before we even get to this one, just review a couple of them. Numerous vehicular jihad, which is what we saw in Woolwich, England, when two Muslims ran over a soldier and then hacked his head off. But we've had that here. We had a guy named Mohammed Tahiri Azhar in 2006 at the University of North Carolina plow over a group of students at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And in the letters to the ABC local affiliate, he said he did what he did because it's a commandment from Allah to wage jihad. There was another guy out in Fremont, California, named Omid Papal, who killed one person and ran over 13 others with his vehicle. And people said they heard him saying Allahu Akbar while he was doing it. He was just written off as a nut.
Well, I remember, when we just had the one on Ventura on the boardwalk there, I mean, I first wanted to know. That's the first thought that came to my mind, because I know we have had these incidents in the past where, as you mentioned, in those particular ones, it's been an act of jihad. Now, what you're talking about with regard to this Louisiana, we were told about an incident, but we weren't told everything about who this man was. This was a hostage situation at a bank in Louisiana, correct?
That's right. There were 3 hostages taken, and the people were able to negotiate and get a friend of the hostage taker on the line, and he ended up releasing one of the hostages. But the interesting thing is no mention, and I went back and looked at the updated CNN reports on this. I got this from people that were on the ground at the time, from folks that I know there and from local law enforcement that contacted me before it was ever even mentioned on the news. And it took a while for even the story to break on the news. And when CNN finally picked it up, because it ended up being over a 12-hour standoff, by the time it got picked up by CNN, there's still today on their updated story no mention that this was a young man, 20-year-old Muslim of Yemeni descent. And he has a Facebook photo, which I put up on my blog at UnderstandingTheThreat.com, of him sitting there, clearly not in Louisiana. Looks like a photo from Yemen with an AK-47. And yet the law enforcement officials said they were baffled that he didn't really have any demands. And of course, this is a huge investigative clue, among others, that you've got a jihadi right here, and he's not going to have a whole lot of demands other than ones you likely aren't going to be able to fulfill.
No, and we're talking to John Guandolo, a counterterrorism expert, former FBI agent here on the Steve Malzberg Show. So he went to Yemen this summer and then came back, and he was detained at the airport, correct?
That's correct. The FBI has confirmed, and the local police actually were the ones who confirmed for me and for the group that originally broke this story that he was detained there and then released. Never did report what he was doing in Yemen. And as you well know, Yemen is currently, and has been for a long time, a significant hotbed for al-Qaeda and jihad. And the leader of al-Qaeda in Yemen, Anwar al-Awlaki, a U.S. citizen, we recently killed him, a couple years ago. So these are all significant pieces of information, none of which have been reported, certainly by what I would say are mainstream media outlets.
And John, where is this man right now?
So at the end of the hostage crisis, he said, "I have a timeline. You don't get me these demands, I'm going to kill the hostages." So the police stormed in and they killed him. But as they did, he shot both of the hostages, and one died immediately, and one ended up dying the following day.
Oh, so he did get killed. I thought so, but then I thought you said that a friend convinced him to release the hostages. Maybe I misheard. Okay,
no,
yeah.
Just release the first hostage.
Oh,
yeah,
I got you. Okay, I did mishear. So, all right, so he's dead, and so that makes it easy for them not to tell us much about it. It is frightening. It is scary, and everyone bends over backwards. And I could play you sound bites that I know you're well aware of from the Boston bombings, or and I'm trying to remember specifically going back even probably further than that, where the media, members of the media, openly hoping. One so far as to say, I'm praying that the perpetrator is not Muslim. So I mean, some of them openly root in the media for the assailant or the bomber or the bad guy or the terrorist to be white, to be Christian or to be Jewish, and not to be Muslim. So what do you expect?
I just find the disconnect from reality is what's really.
It is, John. It is a severe disconnect. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Steve. Great being on. Take care.